Well, good morning, campers, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Camp Cryptid. I'm your host, Erica Fett, and I hope today is finding you well. I want to thank everyone so much for listening to the last Campfire Tales episode. I always love listening to your spooky stories and unexplainable experiences that range in everything from hauntings to movie suggestions to cryptid encounters. They're my favorite episodes for a reason. And it's a bonus that sometimes those stories that you all submit lead to others writing in to tell their experiences that are similar. So I want to thank everyone so much for making those campfire tales happen. But today, we are going to chat about the Fresno Nightcrawlers and the sightings all over the world of these truly bizarre cryptids. If you have never heard of the Fresno Nightcrawlers, I would recommend pausing the episode or even checking out the videos of these sightings after this episode so you can see what the heck I'm talking about when I talk about how truly weird, actually, these little sightings of these cryptids are. So yeah, I'll make sure to post on Reddit all of the videos of these sightings so you can go to the Camp Cryptid Reddit to check those out. And I'll do my best to try to explain how truly weird these are, but seeing is believing, right? But let's get into these little creepy crawlers and what led to them being known as one of the most unexplainable cryptids that we have in this world. Now, the first sighting of the Fresno Nightcrawlers happened back in 2007 in Fresno, California, when a man set up a surveillance camera when he suspected that people were coming onto his property. But what he ended up seeing was far more bizarre. One night, he was startled when his dogs began to bark strangely. Now, when he went to go check the security footage of the CCTV he installed, he saw a strange creature walking whimsically across his yard. Now, the description of this creature was that it was all white, it was armless, it seemed to be headless, and looked like a pair of, white baggy pants just waltzing across the screen. The figure was hard to make out completely, but its weird shape and unusual gait piqued curious minds as to what this creature actually could have been. Also, side note, my dog is snoring. So other than hearing my weird mouth noises if you're wearing headphones, if you hear a slight little faint snoring, it is my dog Theo. So, but back to the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Now, since this sighting in Fresno in 2007, many other sightings of similar creatures have been reported all over the world. There's sightings in Montana, there's sightings in Poland, in Sweden. I'm sure if we dig deep enough, there are probably sightings way before then too, of these little hot pants creatures. But one of the other sightings I'd like to talk about was in 2014, when a couple was driving around Carmel, Ohio. They had an encounter with a creature that was shaped similarly to the Nightcrawlers of Fresno. This couple spotted a strange, pale, armless creature after driving up a hill and watching it cross the road into the surrounding forest. The only real difference from this sighting and the Fresno sighting was that this particular creature seemed to have knees that were inverted. This encounter also became known as the Carmel Area creature. Now, a side note on this area. I'm from Ohio and I've talked about the Frogman, the Fresno Monster, and then the Great Serpent Mound. Now, this area where this Fresno Nightcrawler-like creature was actually about an hour from the Loveland Frogman sightings and the Fresno Monster sightings, and only about 20 minutes from the Great Serpent Mound. So some people think that this creature was maybe extraterrestrial, but we will get into more of that later. Now, like I said, there have been so many sightings of these little Fresno Nightcrawler-like creatures, these little hot pants creatures. I love it. But another sighting of a similar creature happened in 2011 at Yosemite National Park, which is not too far away from Fresno. Like the first sighting in Fresno in 2007, this sighting was also caught on surveillance cameras. However, in this footage, there isn't just one of the creatures, there are two creatures. But just like the Fresno footage, this creature has a similar build and description, and both have that same eerie walk. So I'll definitely make sure that I post these videos of these sightings of Yosemite and in Fresno so that you all can kind of look at them and kind of come to your own conclusion about what they are. But when it comes to what they are, what could these ghostly hot pants really be, right? I joked around a few episodes ago about how it seemed like every cryptid sighting seems to have people that always think that the sighting can be explained with owls. And owls or birds are one of the things that skeptics say these sightings of Nightcrawlers are. And while I have seen the footage myself, I am no bird expert, so let me give that disclaimer. I don't see how these sightings can be a bird, but I'll let you look at the footage and you can decide for yourself. Now, aside from the birds and the owls, there are people who think that these sightings and encounters are just a hoax, right? They think that sometimes it could be a puppeteer or it could be some other person just trying to create an online viral sensation, right? But honestly, with the way that these little creatures walk across the screen, I don't know how someone could have puppeteered that. Granted, disclaimer again, I am no puppeteer master, right? But one of the other explanations for these little creepy white walking pants, I guess, is that these are creatures that are extraterrestrial humanoids visiting our planet. And especially with the Mount Carmel Monster sighting in Ohio, many researchers believe that these sightings are that of an extraterrestrial being. I mentioned earlier on the episode about that the area close to where the Great Serpent Mound is also close to Fort Ancient and the Fort Hill earthworks. These areas are ancient areas that are thousands of years old, built for native tribes of what they think was ceremonial gatherings. So there's a lot of history and interesting structures in the area. I mean, if you've never Googled the Great Serpent Mound, it is like the Nazca lines in 3D in Ohio. And Ohio, it may have just cornfields, but it's got a lot of weird stuff too. And I love that the Mount Carmel Monster is now another cryptid that we can add to the Ohio list. So that's amazing. But when it comes to the sightings in Fresno of the Nightcrawlers, or even the sightings of the strange beings in Yosemite, it is known that those areas in California are teeming with UFO sightings. And on a side note, there are so many strange stories within Yosemite of strange tales of cryptid sightings, the mysterious Sierra sounds, and other creepy and unexplained events in that region. So maybe I need to do a whole ass episode on spooky Yosemite and other national parks. So I think that may be something I have to explore. Now, aside from UFOs, birds, or other misidentification, there is also the idea, along with the hoax, that these sightings are just a simple misidentification, but of a human doing something strange that just got translated weirdly on video, right? There are some people believe that it's a human wearing a cape. So when it comes to the Fresno Nightcrawlers, the Yosemite Nightcrawlers, and the Mount Carmel Monster, as a believer, I want to believe that this could be an extraterrestrial entity just sightseeing around Earth, but I don't really have a logical explanation for you. So go take a second, watch the videos on the Camp Cryptid Reddit. I did make sure to post them for this episode. And let me know your thoughts on what you think these strange little hot pants could be. Because honestly, this is one that baffles me. And the first time I ever saw the videos, I was like, what is going on? I'm telling you, it just looks like a ghostly pair of like white baggy pants, like hammer pants almost. Just like walking, it's so weird. I just don't have an explanation for it. And it is one of those earth mysteries that I don't know if we'll ever have an explanation for unless somebody like comes across them in person one day. I love seeing people's drawings of the Fresno Nightcrawlers too, because they're interpreted in so many ways, right? Because these are caught on security footage, which is like Bigfoot quality, right? So your imagination is going to all of these different places, trying to piece together what the heck this could have been. So yeah, I'd love to know what everybody thinks who's listening of what the heck the Fresno Nightcrawlers are. It's really cool. And like I said, there's a lot of creepy, eerie things that happen in Fresno and in the Yosemite area. So I would love to kind of dive into a whole Fresno episode, because as I was doing research, I saw that there were tons of places that were haunted around Fresno. There's cryptid sightings in Yosemite, and it's just a really eerie little place full of a lot of weird history. So yeah, that's the Fresno Nightcrawlers, and I hope you all enjoyed it. It was really fun to read about and watch these videos. Like I said, I have heard of the Fresno Nightcrawlers prior to doing Camp Cryptid, but I never really saw the videos. And then when I saw the videos, I was like, I don't even know what to think of that. Now, aside from doing my research on the Fresno Nightcrawlers, I have been trying to watch a little bit more sci-fi and horror lately, and I'm happy I finally got to watch Abigail. For those of you who are following me on Twitter, you know that this past week and a half has been awful. My dog was diagnosed with bone cancer, and my poor little baby had to get his left back leg amputated. So I've been kind of like in bed with him, right next to him, just kind of hanging out with him, making sure he's good all day. So it has given me a lot of time to research and it's given me a lot of time to catch up on House of the Dragon and some of these movies that I've been meaning to watch. And Abigail is one of those movies. I didn't get to watch it when it came out originally, but it was out streaming and I said, oh my gosh, let's watch it, because who doesn't love a vampire movie, right? Y'all know by now. Hopefully if you've listened to a few episodes, you know I am totally obsessed with vampires. It's like I would like to thank Bram Stoker's Dracula for coming out when I was like oh gosh, I don't even know when that came out. 4th grade? I don't even know. But I would like to think that shaped my youth. But Abigail was a really fun time, and I love the girl power. I love seeing Melissa Barrera and Catherine Newton. I absolutely love them in horror, and I would love to see them in more movies together. I just think that they're both phenomenal actresses, and like I said, girl power, right? Now, aside from Abigail, I, did watch Arcadian with Nicolas Cage, which was really, really good. I didn't know what to expect when I watched it, but it was a little enjoyable watch, and it was San Diego Comic-Con this last weekend, and so as a fan of Dexter, I was really excited to see the Dexter prequel coming out, and also them announcing that there's going to be a reboot, and I'm losing my mind because I'm a huge Dexter fan, so I would love to see how they come back from New Blood. And spoilers, I'm sorry, it's been out for like 2-3 years now, so I guess not really spoilers. But I have been saying all along, I didn't think he was dead, and I hope that that's the route they go. So I just need more Dexter in my life, right? I like vigilantes. Maybe it's growing up on Batman and the animated series, and I'm just like, I love me some vigilante justice. So I don't know. I like it. I'm here for it. And like I said, I've been hanging out in my bedroom with my dog. And so my poor husband has never really watched the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones. And literally last night we watched The Red Wedding, and I'd said something before about it, and I just wanted to see his reaction, and it was just wild. So for those of you who are Game of Thrones fans, my husband did just watch The Red Wedding last night, and my heart broke during that episode again. But yeah, it's kind of nice going back through and watching Game of Thrones all the way through, because, when I first watched it, it was like week to week, right? And then now that I get to see it flow, it's just kind of nice, and it brings back a lot of good memories. And I love fantasy. I love the world of fantasy. I love the idea of giants and magic and dragons. Oh my God, dragons. I'm like losing my mind. Like, what's a girl got to do to get a dragon, right? But House of the Dragons has totally been giving me my dragon fix. So that's been really fun. But yeah, that's about all. I'm really boring lately, other than, all of that. So now next month, I am going to make sure that I'm having my patrons vote on the next cryptid of next month, which I don't know what's going to win. Usually a lot of people like the Kraken. So I'm kind of feeling like there might be a Kraken episode somewhere in there next month for August. And it's my birthday month. So maybe for my birthday, maybe I'll talk a little bit more about vampires, because I'm obsessed. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, I hope y'all have been having a great week so far. I hope that you're enjoying some sunshine, some good food, and thanks again for listening. I have a lot of fun, reading about these little weird cryptids and creepy crawlies, and I have a lot of fun just kind of researching topics for the episodes. So it kind of gives me my little dose of fun and creepy eeriness. And also, I always tell people, it gives me an excuse to watch a bunch of horror and sci-fi and be like, no, I have to watch these because it's for my podcast, it's research. And I kind of love it. And other than that, also keep an eye out for more at Gettysburg Haunting. For those of you who aren't familiar, I am going to be a horror villain in a movie. I'm the ghoul, and I'm really excited. Hopefully that'll be coming out later this year or early next year. I'm still waiting to kind of hear back, but I'm very excited for y'all to see me in my final ghoul form. And I really like the idea of being a ghoul in horror movies. It's kind of like my favorite. But yeah, thanks so much, y'all, for hanging out for another episode. I can't wait to bring you some goodies for my birthday month next month. It's Virgo Leo and Virgo, but I'm a Virgo, so it's a Virgo season, and I'm very excited. So Thanks so much again for hanging out. And hey, I hope you all have a great week. And until next time, take care.